Okay, so I've opened up all my tea bags, and since it's almost boiling, I'm going to add them in. And one thing I forgot to tell you is that you want to, because of the, I don't know, I guess because of the chemistry of the kombucha, you want to use a stainless steel pan. You don't want to use a pan like this, which has like the stick-free coating on it, and it's, I don't know what that pan is made out of, steel or something, not sure, but you don't want to use a pan like that. You want to use a stainless steel pan like this. I'm going to show you this type of pan that's also a stainless steel. And you don't want to stir it with plastic. You really don't want to put plastic on your kombucha because it messes with it as well and it can ruin it. So don't use a plastic spoon, use a wooden spoon. They say wood is best. I suppose you could use a stainless steel spoon also, but they say wood is best. Okay, so I'm just going to let that boil. You can see or you can hear it, that it's starting to boil. And since it's almost to the boiling point, I'm going to go ahead and set the timer for 10 minutes. Okay, and we're just going to let that boil for 10 minutes. So we're basically just making black tea on the stove. We're just brewing black tea. So we don't even really need to stir it or watch it. Just as long as it's going for 10 minutes, we're good. Okay, so we're going to wait, and while we're waiting for that to boil, I'm going to show you the last batch that I made. This one is kind of empty because I took the scobies out and I gave you some, so this one is kind of missing some, but you can see the new SCOBY that has formed on top. And as long as you don't see any mold or green on it, like blue or green is bad. If you see blue or green, you're gonna have to throw out the whole batch of kombucha. So what I recommend, I've never had that happen to me. All my batches have turned out good. I haven't had to throw any out. But if you do see green or blue, you need to throw it out and start from scratch again. So what I recommend is that you don't put all of your scobies into one batch. Put them in separate jars, and you don't want to use plastic. You want to use glass to store it in. Plastic, for some reason, just messes it up. So what I'm going to end up doing is, I've already just washed my hands. You want to wash your hands before you take your scobies out of the jar, because you don't want to contaminate them with any dirt or anything, because that could cause mold. It could just ruin a batch of kombucha. So let's see if I can do this with my phone. You can touch it as long as your hands are clean. The SCOBY is not going to hurt you. That's actually just good bacteria and yeast there. And the more, this is the old SCOBY that I put in the batch to begin with, and then the lighter one, the one on top, is the one that formed while doing this batch of kombucha. So there's another one. I put several scobies in there at a time because it makes the batch just stronger and it makes more good bacteria. So I'm going to take off my SCOBY from here as well. I know it looks really gross, but you've already been drinking it, so you know it's good. Okay, so there's the SCOBY just forms at the top of whatever jar you put it in, so that's why this one is so big, because this glass jar, the circumference is a lot bigger than this one. So whatever form of container you put it in is the shape that your SCOBY is going to be. So you can kind of see the lighter layer on top. That's the layer of the new, they call that the baby, and then the one you put in there to start the batch is the mother. So you can see, like, after several batches it just keeps getting thicker and thicker and growing more and more SCOBYs. So that's why I have so many and why I was able to give you one. So you can, what I'm going to end up doing is putting it in these jars right here. I need to make room. You, again, don't put it in plastic jars. You're going to want to put it in glass jars. So I'm going to need to use these jars right here to put my new batch in. Got 5 minutes left. So I need to empty these out and get these out. These have been sitting for a week. You're gonna let your kombucha sit for, I usually do it for 7 to 9 days. I think this has been sitting for, it's been since last Saturday and now it's Monday, so it's been sitting for 9 days. So it's definitely ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and put you on pause because what I'm going to do is I've got some mangoes over here and I'm just going to, you can do whatever you want. You can flavor it. You don't have to flavor it. You can just put the kombucha in the jar as it is. You can filter it out. I don't filter it because the stuff that's in there is really good for you and I like it to be in there because it's good for your stomach. It's good for your intestinal tract. It's the good stuff that's the reason why we drink it. So I don't filter it out. Some people just prefer to filter it. So right now I'm going to just puree these and put them in the bottom of these jars while I'm waiting for my kombucha over here to finish.